bring up now our next guest, who is Diane Meyer. She operates Rotten Apple 907 on California Street in Burbank. If you've never been, it's a really great haunt. They do a different theme each year, so you got to be careful. If you're looking for a name of something, if you're looking for Wizard of Oz, you're not going to find it because they only did that one year. And then it was Vampmont Village and Burbank Underground and various other things. So I think we have a PowerPoint slideshow. This is Diane, and she's going to walk us through a little bit of history and give you a little bit of an idea of what's in store for you if you go to Burbank this Halloween.
This whole thing started as my daughter was born on October 26th. So we started doing birthday parties. She started out as a sweet little rainbow bride, and by the time we got to do the haunts, she turned into the dead prom queen. We've been doing it for, well, it said 24, but it's actually 23. And the first few years, we just did the haunt inside the house. So my daughter would have a birthday party in the back, and you would have to go through the haunt to get to the birthday party. So then we started doing themes. And so then one year we did zombies. And then the next year we were trying to figure out themes and what we were going to do. My grandmother lived in an assisted living, and so thus came up Vampmont Village, which is an assisted living for vampires. And so we had all the different rooms that my grandmother actually had in her place. Like they had the nurse's station, so we had little pills, and we had blood dripping into the guy's mouth, and we did all sorts of things like that. And they had sleeping room and therapy room and smoking room and all that kind of stuff. So it was fun and then we decided we liked the ideas of the different themes and liking sticking to that because we could come up with. So then we decided to do Malice in Wonderland. And so it was one of ours that's really what sparked our interest. We got a lot more help too. Before it was just family, now we have extended family helping us. We built a very huge tree. The tree trunk, it was all built out of paper mache. And you walked through the paper mache and you walked, and so we built all that. And that was our first, the caterpillar my daughter built. I carved out the face out of foam. She built the whole body out of foam.
You should explain, it was a big caterpillar. I'm not sure, did you see the photo?
It was 9 foot.
You might not be able to get the sense of perspective from the photos, but it towered over you and it leaned down and looked like it was going to collapse on you. It was pretty intimidating.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. That was when we started to really get, then we did the Wizard of Oz and stuff, and we had the witch's legs. What we got into then is that we got into doing more of the animatronics even more, and the NEM's house, when you went in, it shook. It was on airbags. So it started shaking, and then it opened up the door, and you went through the spinning tunnel, which was the tornado. And then you went through the forest, which we built all the trees in the forest, paper mache and stuff, and then we got the cave, and then Emerald City toxic waste dump. So then after that, we decided that every year it's always somehow we come up with ideas. I'm not sure how it happens. And so we decided to do Burbank Underground. So we made a replica of City Hall. The front half is Burbank City Hall. That thing goes up 25 feet in the air. In order to set it up, we wheeled it out on dollies, and it went clear across the street. And we set it up. We had people pulling it on pulleys, and it was quite spectacular.
I think we should have a moment of silence for your roses flower bed, which I believe was sacrificed to make room for that huge facade.
Yeah, everything.
So this woman makes sacrifices to entertain you at Halloween.
Yes. And so then we decided, okay, you go under Burbank, you go through Burbank, you got to go through underground. You got to see Disney's tomb, because his head is supposedly under Burbank someplace. And so you got to go through, and then you got to go through Lockheed because of the airport. And so then we thought, okay, how do you get back out? So, you got to go through the AMC Theater. So we went and did the AMC Theater. What are we on now? So then the next one was Nightmare Museum. And so we had, each room was a different theme. And we went into the lobby, and then we had the caveman area. We had several dinosaurs that year. We had one that was an animatronic dinosaur that his mouth went, and stuff and came out at you. And it was cool. It was all the Egyptian room. We had, people made up mummies. All the costumes were made by people there. None of it is stuff that we bought. It was all done.
Homemade.
All homemade. Then we went to space. They decided to build a core Because how do you get up there? You got to be transported. So they made this core, they made a round room, and with sound and lights, made it vibrate. And so it took you up into space, to a space resort. So then we had a space bar, which then we had, what was it? We had the lady who played the guitar with the three boobs, which is in some movie, I don't know what it was. That was my husband, sad to say. And then in order to get out, you had to get out. So you went through the wormhole, which we brought back our spinning tunnel. And you went out through the spinning tunnel. Okay, and then that's Wellesley Manor, which is what we did last year. It's an old Wellesley Manor, and you go into the foyer, and that year we had to decide which way to go, which we're not going to do this next year because people took far too much time and stuff. And so we did an upside down dining room. So the table and stuff is hung from the dining room, from the ceiling, and so you're walking on the ceiling. Table, so the whole room is upside down, which is really hard to do. Have you ever tried to set a table upside down? I'm going, how do we go? So it was really the whole, and the table moved. It goes up and down. It's on hydraulics and goes up and down and all that.
Rotten Apple was always a lot of fun, but I think with Burbank Underground, you really took it up a whole quantum level. It got to be scary, almost professional level kind of stuff. Was that a conscious effort? We're not just playing around and we're really going to do something impressive?
Well, I think that we like to push ourselves, so we get bored and stuff, and we want to go even bigger, learn things. And so, wouldn't that be cool? And how can we do that? So it's always with the whole group of us that we get together and really, it's, okay, how can we make that happen? So it's a lot of people that have got some really good ideas.
Because the earlier years, I think it was always fun. It was a little bit more on the whimsical side.
Yeah.
Now you're getting into scary territory. So the question I like to ask is, did you ever succeed too well, or people wait in line 2 hours and then don't end up seeing the whole thing because they head for the chicken exit?
Absolutely. We've had plenty of people that have waited. When we did the year of Burbank Underground, they literally waited in line for 2.5 hours. They got in the city hall, the lobby, which there was nothing there to be afraid of. They went through, and you had to go up in it. We had an elevator, and the elevator shook, and of course my daughter scared them out. And then they went down the hallway, and there happened to be an exit door. We had at least 60 people bail out that exit door. So they just barely got through it. Last year, my husband, there was people that waited in line for an hour and a half, and they walked in the door, saw him, and walked right back out. Of course, I don't know why they
So you're working.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. We're going to bring up now our third. So we went from mild to medium. We're going to get really spicy. Now we're going to bring out Jeff Gustafson. He operates the Backwoods Maze, which is a stone's throw from Rotten Apple 907 in Burbank.